Good morning, YouTube. Today I want to talk about how I raised over $100,000 for my company in under 24 hours.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Nan, this is my garage, and this channel is all about the supercar ownership experience. I offer consultation services for people looking to buy or sell Ferraris. I also offer parts for your Ferraris on my website, normalguysupercar.com, and as well as other supercars, so go check that out. Use the code NGS10, it'll knock off 10%. Also, real quick, I've got the Supercar Devaluation Tour of Colorado coming up in September, so if you're interested in that, go visit ngsc.me/Colorado2021. There you can find out information about it. I need a couple more people to sign up pretty soon. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to reduce the size of it because, well, I have to start paying a bunch of deposits. It's a lot of money. We're talking like close to $100,000. Go sign up if you're interested in doing that. It's gonna be really, really fun. But let's get back to today's topic. Yeah, I actually raised $100,000 for my company, Gated 6 LLC. So not my Normal Guy Supercar company, but actually for Gated 6. And let me tell you about why and how I did this. And it's actually kind of interesting. Also, at the end of this, I'm going to have an interesting opportunity for those of you who are looking to possibly make some money. So stay tuned for that. So when I got involved with Gated 6 and we formed the company and we started trying to figure out how to make these conversion kits for Ferraris. So we started looking into manufacturing the parts and building the parts. And once we kind of started getting estimates on the cost of these parts, we ran into a few interesting bits of information. So the first one was how dramatically the parts cost drops the more parts you make. So if you make one part, if you have a part that you design, you put it in CAD, and then you send it off to a machine shop to get made, it's very expensive. If you take that part and you now make, let's say 10 of them, the cost per part goes down substantially. Now, if you make 50 of them instead of 10, it goes down even more. And in fact, in some cases, it actually becomes advantageous to make more parts than less. So the cost gets down into really, really low values. And we're not talking like 10% less or 20% less. We're talking like 90% less. So huge, dramatic drops in prices once you start making a lot of these parts. So as we started building out these kits and designing them and prototyping them and getting them set, and we started wanting to submit those to our manufacturers and getting quotes on them, we quickly realized we need to make as many kits as possible so that it would reduce our costs and give us the greatest profitability and also the best chance for success. However, when I got involved, there was a few things. One was Megan had requested that I not take our own personal money and put in substantial amounts of money into the company, so I had to honor that. The other thing was the company basically didn't really have any money, so the only money we had was money that came in from deposits, and we were using that deposit money to send off and build these parts. We had already submitted some of these parts and had them manufactured. We didn't quite have all the parts finalized in CAD, but we were about to do that. And so we said, you know what? We really need to get some more money because that will allow us to use the economies of scale, reduce the costs, and make more profit. A couple different ideas came about of how should we raise money to do this, because we're basically a fledgling company. We have an interesting product, but we're not like some new tech startup where we're going to be able to like go to angel investors and be like, hey, give us $5 million, and they're going to be like, cool, you're the next Uber for something stupid. Also, we weren't super interested in having another partner join the company. So we really didn't want to take and sell any equity in the company because it didn't really make sense at this point. And also, we knew that if we wanted to get a loan to kind of float us temporarily, it was going to be very difficult because we were such a brand new company. We hadn't really established any credit. So going out and trying to find a small business loan or whatever, it's going to carry extremely high interest rates. It's going to be very difficult, lots of paperwork, and it'd probably take months to get arranged. So we decided to pursue a different option, which was we effectively sold the kits to people and then repurchased the kits to people. I know that sounds really strange, but basically we said, hey, investor person, we're going to sell you one of these kits for X amount of dollars, and then once we build the kit, we are going to buy back the kit from you for X dollars plus some amount extra because we wanted to make it worth your while for giving us that money. I don't obviously want to use actual numbers because it's, that's between us and our investors. Let's just go with some fake numbers. We're going to do stupid low numbers so that you have no idea how much they actually cost. So let's say that the cost for these kits is $50, okay? And we basically say investor number one wants to buy a kit from us, he's going to do so at $50. And then once we build the kit and we actually sell the kit to an end consumer, we're going to buy back that kit from him for $70. So they're going to make $20 on a $50 investment. We also put in time frames about how long we're going to allow this to happen, and if we exceed those time frames, they get a kicker. We reached out and we got quite a few people that I know, and so this was actually a really fascinating experience of reaching out to my networks. It goes to show you one of the most important business things you can do is build a strong network of people. I reached out and I think I only made a total of like 6 phone calls. Basically, talk to these people who I know, who kind of know what we're trying to do. They understand the business we're in. I guess the bit of a tricky part is, like if I had reached out to investors who were into technology companies and said, hey, we're doing this thing where we're going to build parts for Ferraris, they'd have been like, I don't know anything about that and I want nothing to do with it. So I had to reach out to people who are already aware of what we're doing and understand that converting these cars to manual transmissions is really desirable right now, and there's a strong market for that. Most of the people that I contacted immediately were like, yes, I would like to help you. Essentially send them a contract that basically said the terms of how much we're going to sell the kit to them for and how much we're buying it back and the duration and all those sorts of things, and once they signed it, they would send me the money. We got I think it's 5 people that committed, bought these kits, and we raised over $100,000. Why would you offer these large returns to these investors for such a short period of time? Because, for instance, one of our investors is already fully paid back because we've already sold the kits that he bought. We joked because in less than 7 days or 8 days, we had sold the kits that he had purchased. He basically made thousands of dollars on lending us money for a few days. It was pretty funny. So the reason that became so interesting to us is by pooling all of this money together, we were able to increase the quantity of kits that we were ordering at one time. So instead of trying to order a kit here or even 5 kits here, we ordered lots of kits. So we ordered quite a huge number of kits, and that meant that the actual cost of the kits went down so much that even with offering this large kickback to these investors, we still actually make more profit than if we had done it piecemeal or even in small quantities. So it really was fascinating because it's a win-win-win. So our investors win, they get some money back for a short-term duration of lending us this money or lending us. We win because we make more profit. We also have more kits on the shelf ready to go once all the parts are done in manufacturing. And then the consumers also win because now we're gonna have more kits available to just send to them. The current status, if you're wondering, so these were all F430 kits that we were doing this on. We ordered them. We have them submitted to our manufacturing partner. They are currently in manufacturing and we are awaiting the arrival of the last parts. We are hoping to have those parts within probably 2 weeks. And so once we have those, we should be ready to start shipping the F430 kits. So we are very, very excited. We're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. It's been a ridiculously complex journey, and let me tell you, it is logistically very difficult. So just to give you an idea, the number of parts in total that we ordered is over 2,000 parts that are currently being manufactured. So we have 2,000 parts that we are waiting for arrival. And so obviously it's gonna take us a lot of time to quality check all of those and go over them. And then we have to actually start assembling all these kits and then getting them ready to ship. So it's been really, really challenging. And the funny thing is, that's about maybe half of the parts that we're actually making. So we've already made a bunch of the other parts and we already have a bunch of other stuff that's kind of off the shelf stuff. We're gonna probably have, I'm gonna guess, somewhere around 5,000 to 7,000 parts that we're gonna have to distribute into all these different kits that we're gonna have ready to ship out. Very logistically challenging. It's become quite an undertaking, and this is also why it's taken us longer than we expected. Is manufacturing process itself is much slower than we anticipated. So we were hoping for quick turnarounds. It is when you do 2 parts, but when you do 50 parts, 100 parts, 200 parts, it takes a while. We did find some manufacturing partners that are able to produce things in these sorts of quantities and get them turned out pretty quickly. So again, we're really, really hopeful that we're gonna have these parts very soon. So obviously once they arrive, I'm going to show you those parts, show you what an assembled kit looks like, and we'll have those ready to go. So anyone who's looking to do an F430 kit, if you've been on the fence and you're just kind of waiting for us to have the kits, well, we're gonna have the kits very soon. Some of our partners who do the installation are ready to go. They want your business. They want to help you convert your Ferrari F430. Reach out to us. We can get you in touch with our partners. I know, for example, European Auto Group is ready to go. They have space right now. And so if you ship them your car, they could start working on it, and the second the kit arrives, they would install it and you'd have your car back pretty quickly. It's probably a little over a month turnaround. It's pretty awesome. That brings us to the second part of it, which is some of you who are interested in making some money. Here's what we're trying to do. We want to do the same thing that we did for the F430s for the Ferrari 599 kit. So we have basically got all of our CAD designs done. We are currently prototyping a lot of the parts, so we kind of CAD them out. We 3D print them in plastic. We test fit them, make sure everything's good. And then once we're happy with the CAD design, we submit them to actually be made in metal or whatever material that happens to be for that part. We're about to start submitting those parts to get manufactured, and obviously we're going to spend a ridiculously large amount of money to get all these parts made. So we are interested in doing another one of these buying the kit and then rebuying it back from you kind of thing. So if you have some disposable cash laying around that you are willing to take a risk, potentially earn a pretty large return rate, reach out to me, dan@getitsix.com, and I can tell you the terms and what we're trying to do. The first set of kits, we did a first in, first out. So whoever was the first one to pay us was the first one to get their money back. And I think out of fairness to everyone, because this is kind of like a shotgun blast approach as opposed to a very precise approach from the previous round of investment. That one, we reached out to very specific people. This one, I'm kind of leaving it open to general public, so to speak. So what I'll do is once we get everyone pooled together, we're going to just randomize who gets paid back in what order. So we'll just do a randomization for each of the kits. And the way it'll work is basically we'll say you buy a kit from us for X amount of dollars, and then as soon as we have that kit sold to an end user, we then buy that kit back from you for X dollars plus some return rate. You are all set, and you've made some money. In the meantime, we're going to be ordering lots and lots of parts and then getting these kits ready to go. And also I'll be sending updates to everyone who invests regularly to let people know what's the status of the company, what's going on, all that sort of stuff. So that's where we're at. If you're interested in doing it, I would say you need to have at least probably $10,000 at your disposal. We're only looking for larger amounts of money because it makes it easier. In fact, if you've got $20,000 or $30,000, that makes it a lot easier. Basically, the fewer people we have, the easier it is to deal with, because otherwise I have to get all these transfers and keep it organized and all these contracts and paperwork and blah blah. So I'd like to minimize that. So if you're interested in learning more about this opportunity, reach out to me, dan@gated6.com. So we're using my Gated 6 account. Yes, I'm wearing my Gated 6 hat right now, not my normal guy hat. That's where we're at, and it's gonna be pretty exciting to get these kits rolling. I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to see these F430 kits. It's gonna be super, super awesome. So that's the current status of the Gated 6 conversion kits. The F430 kits are currently in manufacturing. We should have those finalized very, very soon. Should actually have the parts ready to go, certainly within the next few weeks. And then we're gonna get the 599 kits ordered very, very shortly. As soon as we do this fundraiser, we'll start ordering them. In fact, we've already ordered some of the parts. So for example, we ordered some of the carbon fiber center consoles because we wanted to actually get those and see them and make sure that they look right. The manufacturing process for those is quite timely. So we already used some deposit money that we've gotten recently to get those ordered. We ordered them from a very high caliber carbon fiber manufacturer who uses a weave that is identical to Ferrari's, so they're going to look really, really good. We have really good confidence that they're going to be pretty epic looking. Obviously, we're going to be putting in one of these kits into my 599 very, very soon. You're going to want to stay tuned for that. We're going to have tons of really cool stuff, lots of conversion stuff coming up, so it's going to be awesome. Hit that subscribe button. Give me the thumbs up if you like this video. I appreciate it when you do that. We're going to have a lot of car stuff coming right, so you're going to want to stay tuned. It's going to be sweet.